Hi everybody, welcome to On Location Light and Lighting. I am Mark Wallace. This class is all about shooting on location in sunlight or anytime you need to balance ambient light, sunlight inside maybe a building or anything like that, taking a studio strobe or a speed light or anything in between and working with those two things. That's what this class is about, location stuff. And so speaking of location, we are in a great place. We are in a backyard here that is spectacular. And so we are going to be shooting at this wonderful fireplace. We have this pool that is one of my favorite places. This is my friend Keith and Maggie's house. They have been so gracious to let us shoot here. You'll see us shooting. And also notice this light is high noon, really hard shadows. And when we look at where I am standing right now, you can see that I'm in this shaded, nice backyard patio. But behind me, that really nice light looks like, I don't know, the apocalypse, something like that. It's really, really bright. And so we're going to be talking about how do we fix that? How do we take and fix the light that's here, really not so bright, with that really, really crazy light. That's the stuff that you will face on location all the time. Now, the other thing that we have done intentionally here is we're shooting at high noon in the middle of the Arizona sun, and we're doing that intentionally because if you can learn to control this kind of light, then you can control pretty much any light at any time of day. Preferably you're shooting at golden hour in the morning or right as the sun is setting or sometime in between or maybe a cloudy day. Something better than what we're doing. But again, if you can control this light, you can control any light. Now, speaking of great places, we also have a fantastic model. And so Sydney's here. The last time we shot, I think it was Studio Lighting Essentials right here on Creative Live as well. Sydney's going to be helping us shoot a bunch of different things. We're going to be doing technical things and some really cool portraits. And we're even doing a bikini shoot that's going to be really cool. And so thanks for being here today, Sydney. Okay, well, let's dive right in. What is the thing that we're trying to solve? Well, the problem is light. The light is no good. And the solution is, well, it's not so easy, but I've broken it down in this sentence. So our solution is to use an external flash to add an appropriate amount of flattering light to a scene while still capturing the available light to the best of our ability. Okay, when we look at this sentence, we can clearly see three things that we have to address. The first one is the appropriate amount of light. What is the appropriate amount of light? Well, that all has to do with exposure. How do we get a correct exposure? Now, when you go on location and you add a flash, you no longer have one exposure, you have two. You have the ambient light, that's all the light that we can't control, all this stuff behind us here outside the sun. We can't turn the sun up or down, we have to just work with what we have. And then we have the light from our flash. It doesn't matter if that's a speed light, an off-camera flash, a full-on studio light. Well, we have to control that exposure as well. We're going to go into great lengths to explain how to control those two things so you will be a master of that at the end of this class. The second thing is flattering light. So how do we get the appropriate amount of flattering light to our scene? Well, flattering light has to do with our light modifiers. So we're going to take what we learned in understanding light and light modifiers. We're going to apply that to on-location shooting. So the light modifiers that we're using are a certain shape and size for a very specific reason. And so I'll be showing you that as we start to shoot. And the last thing we have to deal with is the available light. And so we want to try to mix this light that's out there that we showed you in the backyard and with the shade, or maybe we can control that available light. And maybe we just work with available light. Maybe that's the best solution. And so we'll be working on those different things. How do we shoot in really bright, harsh sunlight? How do we do that with the flash, without a flash? How can we mix indoor lighting like we have right here in a shade and balance that with really bright outside light? And then we're going to walk through all of those things. Once you master this, then you will be a master of shooting at any time of day. I also want to remind you there are some bonus materials on the class page. There are some discounts on some Frio gear that's for your speed lights. There are discounts on tether tables for this. There are also some worksheets. We're going to be going through those worksheets, and I highly encourage you to download those and print them out, because as we're going through each lighting setup and each scenario, you can follow along and fill in the blanks. And once you get in the habit of doing that, you'll be able to master the light wherever you are. Okay, the first thing we have to understand is dynamic range. Why is that such a problem? What is it? So we're going to do that next.